everyone, this is Kathi and I'm back. I am with Julie Coraccio. She's an award-winning professional life and end-of-life organizer and certified life coach. She's passionate about helping people declutter and supporting people in clearing their stuff in all areas of their life, getting organized and becoming more mindful. She hosts a popular self-help podcast, Clear Your Clutter Inside and Out. And she's also the author of 14 books, including Got Clutter, 365 Journal Prompt Series. She's happily married to Tony, and she's at the beck and call of 4 rescue cats. She is my girl. I have 2 cats myself. This will be an insightful interview with my colleague, Julie. So let's get started. Hi, Julie. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Kathi. I'm thrilled to be here.
It's a good day today. You're a certified life coach and professional organizer. Can I ask, what did you do prior to that?
Prior to that, starting my business, I was in fund development. I was a director of development, so in the nonprofit world, writing grants mainly and saying, hey, give us money.
Okay, cool. Why did you decide to become a life coach, professional organizer, girl?
I had just moved from Los Angeles to Raleigh, North Carolina. It was a very intuitive move. I woke up one morning and heard move to Raleigh. So I've learned to always follow my intuition. So I had gotten a job, probably the worst job I've ever had in my professional life. And I knew right away, this is crazy town. So I said, I just don't want to jump to another job. So what can I do that will help people and make a difference in their lives? I got to get paid also, and that I'd enjoy doing. And so I thought about it. And I was like, I've been organizing and helping people declutter. I just never knew it was a job. And so that's how it started.
Yeah. I think a lot of us have a similar path where we're like, is that really a job? Oh yeah, I guess people actually do that for a living. Wow, that's pretty cool.
When I first started, do you know what SCORE is?
Oh yeah.
So for people listening, if they don't know, SCORE helps their retired entrepreneurs who, whatever their specialty is, help people. So when I first went to them for help, they're like, you want to do what? What? Really? People do that? And I was like, yeah, there's a whole, it's NAPO, it's people do it. And they were shocked because a lot of the old school people had never heard of it.
Yeah, that's the thing about SCORE. I love SCORE. I mean, I think they're a great resource, but a lot of them are older, and for new things, maybe not so much, but they still, business is back to the basics, and they still really help you build a really good infrastructure. So if any of you out there are looking to switch careers or explore what you might want to do, well, I always say when you grow up with your real career or the career that has purpose, check out SCORE, and SBA and SBDC's great resources. So yay, that's good. So let's talk a little bit about what you do. Now, I know you do, I'm very intrigued about the end of life decluttering and end of life health. When I help clients declutter after someone in their life, very important is transition. It's really precious work to me. So talk to me about how that process works and how you help clients with end of life clearing.
Sure. So I got started because about 3 years ago, my dad had a meeting with me and my brothers saying, here's what I want to do at end of life. And it kind of shocked me. I was upset, but my mom passed recently. So it was a lot of stuff had been done, not everything. And I knew in that moment, as upset as I was, it brings peace of mind, because when someone dies or is in the process of dying, you want to focus your attention solely on that. And so I consider it a gift to support people in doing that prior. You never know when your number's called. So I think the earlier you do that, the better, especially if there are things, that are important to you, whether it's passing on your legacy. That's something maybe that we can write up that's important. Maybe you want to start a foundation. Maybe you want to start a scholarship in your name. So I really look at it holistically. So of course there's a physical stuff, and I'm not an attorney. I don't play one on TV, but I have to tell you, if you help, as you get to help people organize and declutter, then they can go to the attorney and say, here's what I want, and have everything organized. So they're not paying the attorney $200 an hour to go through paperwork or whatever. So it's getting paperwork organized. It's thinking about end of life care. Do you have all your healthcare stuff together? Who's your healthcare proxy? Where are we going to store all these important papers? And we have to let people know that. What do you want to do with your digital afterlife? Do you want to can your Facebook page, or do you want it to continue? Do you want to do something cool and send messages after you've died to people that you can set up? So it's thinking about all of those things that you want to do.
Wow. Yeah, there's so many missing, so many moving pieces and so many pieces that people don't consider, just like, Facebook messages afterlife. And I've seen that, and it's hugely impactful when it's done properly. And what amazing work you do. Oh, wow. Like I say, there's so many moving pieces. There's a lot to consider. And thank goodness that we have people like you who are, and our profession in general can help people with that. So it's really good. So I really want to touch on that because I think that's super important right now. But let's pop back into entrepreneurship. So what do you feel is the biggest obstacle that you encountered when you started your new life profession, right, as an organizer? What type of obstacle did you have to overcome as an entrepreneur?
I think for me, one of the biggest, and this might sound counterintuitive, but was saying no, because I think it is so important to say no. One, that you can work on your business 24/7. Well, in order to be amazing for your clients, you have to be your best possible self. And if you are constantly scattered, you're constantly doing things, you have to learn to be able to say no. And something else that I knew right from the beginning, I'll never forget, I had just started my business and someone said, "Hey, I want you to drive down to Fayetteville," which is about 90 minutes from where I was living in Raleigh. "And, I want you to do all this work, but they can't really afford you. They can pay you this amount of money." Well, when you look at my time, and I said no. And I had just started out and I didn't have a lot of business, but setting that boundary, because I believe, you're not just setting the physical and emotional boundary, you're setting the energetic boundary, saying, I believe in myself, I have worth, and I'm going to say no, and I'm going to let everyone else know that. So saying no is a huge thing. You can't go to every networking event. You can't be everything to every client. So saying no is really important.
I totally agree with that. And I found that out early in a career when I had a publishing a design agency, that, saying no is really the biggest sign of professionalism that you can do for yourself and for your clients. The ability to say no with grace and without stress, and knowing that it's all going to be fine. You're a much better business person, and you're much better able to help your clients. I love that. So saying no is a huge, huge thing. That would be, what would you say would be an obstacle? So you overcame that, you learned how to say no, but did you have any kind of things that were like the hiccups when you first started that you had to figure out as an entrepreneur?
I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know if I'd consider this a hiccup, but where I lived at the time, there were a lot of professional organizers, almost you could throw a stone and hit someone. So this ties into this, I believe, is that I had to figure out, what's my niche? Who is it that I'm going to serve? And very early on, I was the first professional organizer in the state of North Carolina to focus on sustainable organizing. And people said to me, "You're going to be dead in the water. You have made a huge mistake. You are not, just get out now, bow out gracefully." And I thought, well, one, it's who I am, and I can't change who I am. I'm never force anyone to be sustainable, but if I'm green, I'm always going to share that. And instead of tanking, I found success. So I think does that answer your little question a little more?
Yeah, absolutely. Finding a niche is so important. And I think as professional organizers, we all start kind of general. And as soon as we can niche down, the better, because we are our own avatar. I'm sure that your clients are like you. My clients are like me. We are our own beacon in the darkness, right? So we shine our light, and those that need what we have will have it. But if you're not specific about who you are, the beacon's not there. It's just like a big, white light, right? It doesn't really help. All, like you say, there's a lot of professional organizers. I love the fact that there's a lot of professional organizers, and I love interviewing other organizers like you, because, there's so much business out there, and there's so many people that need specific things from us specifically, for sure. So I totally, I commend you for that. It takes a while to figure out. When I first started, I was a professional organizer and image consultant, and I still am. And at the beginning, there was no one else who did image. And for me, it made total sense because I'm in their closet, and I'm not just saying, have you not worn it for a year? I'm like, why are you not wearing this? Or you shouldn't be wearing this. And for me, it made sense. Now, I'm one of the old timers in the industry. Now there's a lot of new artistic creative organizers coming on the scene who are also image consultants, and they get it because it totally works. So I niched out as well. And then also as being a serial entrepreneur for 30 years, helping other entrepreneurs. So what do you think would be another piece of advice that you would give to entrepreneurs that are trying to stay organized and keep their business together? Do you have any quick tips that you'd like to provide to the listeners?
I would say get a handle on email. I think that's so important. And so a tip is to think of it as processing instead of answering. Oh, I've got to answer email. But if you say, I've got to process email. So am I going to do something? Am I going to delete it? Am I going to delegate it? Or is it something, okay, I need to respond and think more thoroughly and respond later. So I think email is important. I believe also responding to everyone. Even if it's not a right client for you, then say, hey, you know what? I'm not a good fit for you, but having a good referral system means say, hey, talk to Kathi. She's an image consultant. She's someone I can help you clear your closet, but she can take you a step further and say, you might not be wearing it because it doesn't look good. So I think it's always important to have good referral partners. And then again, know that you can't be everything to everyone. Find out, who you like to work with, what your skills are, and don't worry about that. What you put out, you get back in life. So if you're always referring people, that'll come back to you. If you're honest and you don't waste their time or yours, that is a good thing for you. It's not a bad thing.
I love that. I think having a good referral network too, just makes you more professional, and it allows you to let go of that potential business that you shouldn't be doing anyhow, because it'll come right back around again. We're on the same page, girlfriend. So I love that. Okay, so you have something you could give our readers. What is it that you're going to offer that's a valuable free product that they can grab? And I'll put the link down below, by the way.
Perfect. Thank you. So they've go to reawakenyourbrilliance.com. I have a free self-assessment. I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and you can discover your clutter priority. If you're like, I feel kind of cluttered, but I don't know where to start. And so we've got 10 questions for you. And depending on what your priority is, I give you a quick action tip. So bam, you do the assessment and you can get started on decluttering your life.
Yep. Because you know what? The most important thing is to just start. That's what I always say. It doesn't matter where you start, just start somewhere. So take the questionnaire, and that might help you catapult and get kick-started into your projects. So as we end up this interview, the only thing that I wanted to ask you, Julie, is what's the one thing that I should have asked you that I did not ask you?
I guess I'd probably say, what's your best piece of advice for life? Because, we can't separate our professional or personal. So I'd like to say to everyone listening and watching to remember that you are good enough, you are worthy, and you are loved no matter what. Because if you feel worthy, then you're going to shine your light, even if someone wants you to dim it. If you're loved, then you don't have to feel like you're competing with someone and go out and buy a bunch of things. So it's important to remember that, and that we need you to share your gifts now with the world more now than any other time, in my view.
Absolutely. And we all have our own unique gifts. And I truly believe that putting it out there and shining your light, you're a beacon for those who need what you have. And even if you don't feel that you have something unique, you do. There's something very unique that you can offer. And it's just a matter of finding out what that is and doing what I think the way to find out what it is. And tell me if you think this is right, Julie, is experimenting, like do something and see how it feels. Does that feel like really exciting to you and really cool? If it does, that could be the gift that you have to offer. Do you agree with that?
1,000%. I mean, you want to wake up and be filled with joy, but oh yeah, I got to work with a client today. I'm going to help them. I'm going to have fun. You want to be in joy. I mean, how many of us are like, oh, Monday morning, right? And then here it comes around again. Life's short. Embrace it. You have to do what you're meant to do. And everyone listening has a skill. Everyone listening has a talent, so we sometimes get these messages that maybe our parents, our friends, or family, or society told us, you can't do that. No, like you said, there's no mistakes. It's about learning lesson. Try something. I thought it'd be fun. Not really. And then you course correct and you try something else. It's about being in joy.
Yes, being in joy. We are so synchronistic. I am just so enjoying this interview. We think alike. And I think, our profession in general are a bunch of optimists, and we're a bunch of people that grab the opportunity to do what we really love, because there's so many other things that we can do in life, but helping people release the stuff that's holding them back. Really, that's my juice. People think I'm disorganizing their stuff or whatever. It's really allowing them to be more free so that they can find their purpose, so that they can live in joy. And, I always say we're kind of sneaky like that, aren't we, as professional organizers?
It's true. It's true. There's a bigger purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know what? This has been a delight. I'm so appreciative of your time. Everybody grab the resource down below and have a stellar week. And thank you so much, Julie, for being a guest. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, Kathi.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to hear more, feel free to subscribe on the platform of your choice. Also, if you feel so inclined, I would truly appreciate a good rating from you to me. Have a stellar day.